Good morning, Arizona. My name is Christopher Langell, and I am bringing you some national news this morning of events that are going on around the nation. Up first, we have New York City Mayor de Blasio decides to call out the Jewish community on ignoring his rules. Now, in my opinion, this is an unnecessary attack on a religious community, and it's just very non-politically correct to try to attack a section of religious affiliation when there's multiple people in New York City who are not following this order. My question is, why, Mayor de Blasio, are you pinning the problem on the Jews? Haven't we had enough in our history with the Jews being persecuted? Let's not start something and repeat history based off of a viral pandemic, okay? The message was to the Jewish community and all communities. My question is, why do we have to specify the Jewish community and not other religious communities? This is just a simple example of how the New York mayor is biased and has a undoubted hatred for the Jewish population. That's just my opinion, but hey, why would he say it and call him out if it wasn't something that he felt dearly about? You know, this is about stopping disease and saving lives, he says, but his arguments are geared towards the Jewish community and other communities. In other news, we have Missouri deciding to open up all their businesses. That's right, you heard it. No more closure for Missouri as of May 4th, and through the end of May, they will be opening up all businesses and all other activities and, you know, kind of releasing that social distancing mandates that have been, impressed upon us. So I know the growing rage among the nation is, do we stay closed? Do we open? What is the correct answer? We're seeing that the shutdown and economic depression we have created is simply not worth the fallout it's causing. So as Missouri opens up, our question to you, Arizona, is, are you ready to open up? Are you ready to have your businesses and your schools back and operational to avoid this economic fallout like Missouri and other countries are now doing? One new thing that has just come up as well is the Pfizer claims a vaccine could be ready by the end of 2020. Now, I'm going to tell you, Arizona, me personally, as a retired Army vet, being injected with so many vaccines, there's not a chance you're going to have me inject any vaccine that was fast-tracked with human tests, trying to claim that it's going to cure a virus that I just simply haven't seen with the devastation myself. Now, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying that there's not hospitals overrun with the problem of a severe pandemic right now, but the question is it necessary to economically cripple our country with the state mandates and the rules that are coming down in enforcing those social distancing and causing businesses to manipulate their practices and adhere to the guidelines that are given to us by the states. Another thing is that a new COVID-19 test with 99% accuracy is going to be hitting the market. So this comes in from Europe, and this is approved for all across Europe. The new antibody test to check whether someone has been infected with the coronavirus, and it claims to be, like I said, 99% correct. You know, this could be a huge play in the ability to get testing into America, which I know has been a huge question for Arizona residents and other people in the United States. Why can't we massive testing on this virus? The more testing we do, the more data we have. If you've researched anything on the coronavirus, you know that there is every number going a different direction from the WHO, from the state, from Facebook, and from all different areas. I'd like to do a study and dive into just how different the numbers are. Yesterday, as I was looking at it, Facebook and the WHO have a 30,000 data point difference in the worldwide cases. Now, with me and a master's degree working on it in business, a 30,000 different data point just seems like a bit of a stretch to continue enforcing some of these economic crippling mandates that we're seeing. Now, I'm all for being safe. I'm all for washing your hands and making sure if you're sick, staying home. But let's be honest, America, I think we have a little bit more of a fear-based paranoia mandates than what's truly going to help save and turn our country around. I think it's time that we consider opening up, relaxing the businesses and ability to flourish and launch our economy again, and really start to, still take safety precautions, but let's not economically cripple ourselves any more than we already have. I don't think the government's going to be sending you another check anytime soon, so it might be beneficial for us to start going back to work. In other news, the mainstream media has decided or is considering to not cover the presidential appearance regarding this virus. Now, as much as I know the president has said some things that are argumentative at best and just outright ridiculous, it doesn't negate the fact that the media should cover this story and actually have the information that's coming from the White House. We have a duty as media to present all stories in an unbiased fashion with the facts, regardless if the president is, saying unintelligent things and using Twitter to bash different people. That does not constitute our media refusing to cover what our president and the government is saying at these press conferences. The president is not the only person at the press conferences, and I think we should do a better job as media to, look at the fallout of not covering a presidential release. That to me is just a complete contradiction of what's due to the American people. And you can already see, if they're not going to cover that, how much more bias can they get? It's just one more aspect of the local media channels starting to thrive in communities like this one. And we want to cover all the information. The most important aspect of all is you getting the facts. We are the fact-finding news station here in Arizona. We welcome you to Arizona Metro. In other news, we have here in Phoenix, local restaurants are taking a hit in Arizona. From ones closing down like Mark's Cafe to other places like Jolly's Bar and Grill out here in Mesa, shutting down and remodeling. Luckily, they were able to financially stabilize themselves, unlike a lot of other businesses. This shutdown is drastically impacting the lives of American citizens, and especially here in Arizona residents, with other restaurants having to shut down, or much like Euro Cafe yesterday, being cited for not following these mandates. We're seeing a enforceable action by our government here to start really enforcing these social distancing mandates. Now, it begs the question, do we as the people have a responsibility to follow these mandates regardless of how restaurants are acting out their rules and orders? See, the question is the restaurant owner that we interviewed yesterday, and yes, I did call her. Yes, I did get her personal statement, and yes, it is published on our website. Now, she remains adamant that she is not allowing customers to sit at her restaurant. This is Marita. She owns Euro Cafe in Fountain Hills. She has told us in our investigative team that she can't control what you guys do. If you go to her restaurant and are waiting for food and sit at a table, that's your choice. She kindly asked people to place online orders, call ahead. Make sure you're picking up your food, grabbing your stuff, and heading out and not loitering around, causing the sheriff's department to come and cite the restaurant owner for our citizens' actions at that time. Again, we all have a responsibility to follow the orders and rules that are given to us by the state. However, we also are still under our constitutional rights. We should not alleviate those rights at any minute in time. And right now, if not ever, these rights are at severe risk for being taken away for I don't know how long. We have some states expanding shutdown. We have some states like Missouri opening up wide and no longer deeming this a necessary security measure for the case at hand. There's just not enough evidence in Missouri's governmental policy to say we should keep things shut down. I'm wondering what Arizona wants. Please comment, let us know. Reach out to factfinders@azmetronews.com and let us know what you want to do. Do you want to stay open? Do you want to stay shut down? What's going on? Do we open up? Do we stay shut? What do you guys want to do? It's important to us to find out from the Arizona residents so we can do accurate reporting and get information out. Other fallout issues in the media. Boy, I can't tell you how disappointed I am about this next thing I'm about to tell you. Orange County, district attorney warns residents after releasing 7 high-risk sex offenders. Let me just give you a second, people, to let that sink in. This is not just your normal traffic ticket person that got arrested, that's not a UI, that was sitting in the drunk tank for 24 hours. We're talking about 7 high-risk sexual offenders that have been released back into our society. Whether they stay in Orange County or try to drive to Arizona, I'm not sure. The point is we are making drastic decisions that directly impact residents and law-abiding citizens, and you need to know about it. You need to call your state attorneys, you need to call your district attorneys, call your representatives, and demand that they not release criminals with high-risk behaviors back into our society during this time. I think that's a very, very unprofessional move. It's immature and very, very risky. These are things that are going to impact the family within the next 48 hours and 2 weeks. Who knows when one of these offenders is going to start, make a victim out of someone again. Being in the mental health industry, I see the impact sexual abuse has on people. I see what happens when perpetrators are released back into a society with not a due cause. These are people that probably have 15 to 20 year sentences and should not have a place coming back into our society until they're deemed safe and able to reintegrate. And even at that, I'm sorry, any sex offender out there, I don't think you're going to be ready to reintegrate. That's just my personal opinion. God help you, but hey, Orange County District Attorney, he thinks the 7 high-risk sex offenders, A-okay to let go. These are the things that our politicians we vote into office are doing on your behalf. So other than that, we've got some great things coming up. We've got the show at 11 with To The Point with Eric Mitchell. We want you to tune in there. We're going to be streaming his show every day here on Arizona Metro from 11 to 12. Great topics, great national content, and great special guests that are coming on. We've got some WWE guests coming on today and another NFL player next week to talk about concussions and different things that are going on in that realm. So as we move on into the end of this week with all of these things going on, we just ask you, hey, we want your honest opinion. Should Arizona open up, or should we continue to stay locked down, economically crippling our state? Those are the questions that we want answered. Please email them to factfinders@azmetronews.com. Tag us with @azmetro1 in Facebook. And again, my name is Christopher Langell. Thank you for joining me this morning, and welcome to Arizona's Fact Finding News.